Alright guys, I'm going to be filming my review video very soon. I just gotta do something about this here. So, I'll see you guys soon. Bye! I gotta take this off. This makes a lot of noise, so I have to take this off. Hey guys, so here's where I give you guys my Girl Meets Money review, and here is also where you guys either like this video or comment or subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't already. Here we go. Girl Meets Money. Obviously the lesson is going to be about money, and I really did enjoy this episode a lot. I thought that it was very important to discuss about poverty. In my past years in school, I've always made a presentation about poverty because I felt it was very, very important to discuss about poverty and about homelessness and how real it is, because I see people on the street all the time, and I'm here in my room and I'm here in my apartment, and I don't have to experience the cold, or I don't have to experience hunger like they do. So I thought it was very, very important to discuss about values in this episode. I'm gonna recap this episode. Let's go. This episode starts with the class coming into the classroom. New day, new lesson. They all find a $1 bill on their desk. And Maya's the first one to be like, cool, $1, yes. Now I can have a career. Now we're getting paid to come to school. Except she still has to go to school because it's a lot to go to school. Brought up a good point there. And this is also the point that my religion teacher brought up a couple of days ago. About a week ago, I think. He brought up a topic about should students get paid to go to school. What do you guys think about that? Because my teacher was so for it. He was like, yes, you guys should get paid to go to school, because why should students accept scholarships? Isn't that getting paid in a way to go to school? And my dad's against it. He's like, I don't think students should get paid to go to school because it's not the same as having a job. Obviously, I was like in the middle. I was like, what do I decide? I still, even now, like even a week later, I still don't know if it's right or whose opinion feels right. Because a lot of people in my class, they agreed with my teacher, but I obviously have my dad, who is a bigger influence with me. What do you guys think about this? I love hearing about your opinions, so comment below very, very quickly. You don't have to write like an essay about this. Do you guys think that kids should get paid to go to school? It's like that episode in Boy Meets World. I think it was On the Fence. It was like episode 2 where Feeny and Alan, like Feeny, Corey's teacher, and Alan, Mr. Matthews, Corey's dad, they both have an opinion about something, and Corey doesn't know which one is right because they both are opposed to each other. So it's kind of the same thing in that way, like who's right, who's wrong, can they both be right, can they both be wrong, kind of like that. That's what I actually connected it as. Anyway, let's get back into the episode. The episode then moves forward to Corey comes into the classroom and he starts talking about money. Why do people put their faith on money, on paper? Why is money so valued? Why are there wars being fought over money? Why are there wars being fought over paper in a way? Because people put their faith in it. Because people consider it valuable. Because we don't know better. Corey holds up 2 t-shirts. They both say blech on it. They both are the same color, the same size, except one is from a cheap store. I think it's called Cheapo. The other one is from an expensive store called Demolition, as we are very familiar with that store. One is Riley's t-shirt that costs $39. The other one is a much cheaper cost, which is like $12, I think. I'm sorry. And so Corey hands her, like, he's like, okay, here's your t-shirt, and she easily accepts it. And she's like, oh yes, this is my t-shirt. Oh my gosh, I love this t-shirt so much. When it's not her t-shirt, when she finds out that it's actually not her t-shirt, Corey's like, oh yes, here's your t-shirt, and she's like, oh yes, my t-shirt, I would know it anywhere. And then turns out it's this one. I thought that was really amazing because they're both the same t-shirts, yet one costs more than the other one. What makes it more important to Riley that one costs more than the other one? That's the only difference between the 2 t-shirts. And she gets confused about them. She doesn't know which one it is. And so I thought that was a good point. Riley ends up accidentally giving Maya her demolition t-shirt, and I thought that was funny because she was like, oh yes, I want to do kindness to the world, and I also made a mistake. Then we see Minkus. We see Minkus again for another time this season, which is awesome because I love Minkus. He basically lost a lot of money from his company. We know that Minkus International is a company run by Minkus. He lost a lot of money and he is very upset about that. The theme song comes on. Later we see the gang is at Topanga's. Riley and Lucas have gathered up some money to give to Farkle because they know that he's going to be in a tough situation with his father losing money. Maya is the biggest help of all, even though she keeps the money, but she basically gets to show Farkle how to live poor, how to live like her. We see that Maya values a lot of things, including her clothes, because Sean gave them to her. We all know that from Hurricane, and everything that she does have, she does value a lot. Then they finally get to see Farkle's room for the first time ever. For the first time in forever, we get to see Farkle's room, and it is massive. A massive, massive bedroom. Not even the size of my apartment, his room. And it's huge, and everybody's just like, oh my gosh, like they have their mouths open. Even he has his mouth open, and we later find out it's because Maya's hitting him. I love that scene a lot. Everybody's doing their own thing, they're all playing with Farkle's stuff. We see that, in a way, they're not very connected with each other. They're all doing their own thing, they're not together. They're, in a way, separated by the stuff in his room. Even Maya, in one instance, in one point in that scene, she was a little bit caught up with his room. What's the point in having all this stuff? What's the point of being rich and having all this wealth if it keeps the people that you are close with apart? His room, in a way, kept the friends apart in like a few seconds, but they finally regained themselves, and Minkus comes in and he's like, welcome to our building, basically. I think it was Lucas. He looks down Farkle's window and he's like, wow, look at all those people. They look like ants. They look like ants down there. You can barely see them. You're so high up here that you can barely see them. And they go back to Maya's place and they're all just in this small room, but they're all together and they're all hanging out, and it's great. Farkle first, like, he's the first one to get up and go to the window, and he looks down and he sees the people are closer there, that he can see them better, that he's right there. Maya knows every single person in her building. She knows everybody in the neighborhood, and Farkle is very fascinated by this idea that she can connect with people, that she knows who they are, and he never had that. He always had his room, and that kept him away from other people. What's her name? The woman that he says hi to? I forgot. Something with an L, hopefully. And he sees that she's wearing 2 jackets. He asks Maya, why is she wearing 2 jackets? Maya knows that because she can't afford to buy a winter coat, a proper coat. Yeah, that does scare Farkle in a way. That does make him realize that he's so above everybody else. May not really be his fault, but he's so above everybody else that he can't really see what people are really experiencing. You find out that Maya's ferret is actually a rat. Lucas was touching it a lot. Oh, this is my favorite part of the episode, like my absolute favorite part. Corey is really getting serious with his teaching. We can tell, like, very, very serious. Because I was live tweeting during this episode. I was like live tweeting, and then he's like, pay attention. I was like, oh my gosh. And he started bursting out the most amazing thing, the most truthful words ever about poverty, about friendship, about being kind to people. I thought that was amazing. Very, very truthful. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing all this time? How the majority of the world lives on less than $2 a day. And that made everybody so shocked, even me. I bet a lot of you guys were shocked about that too. I did not know that. I was not aware of that. Shame on us. Shame on me for not being aware that there are people below us and that we should not ignore them. In a way, Maya is with us. She's like us. There's always gonna be people below us, and we need to learn kindness. We need to change people with kindness. That's how we get specific with this huge topic about people change people, what we do for them. Maya says she'll never complain about her leaky roof again. And that was a reference to New Teacher, where she does complain a little bit about her leaky roof. She's like, I only come here because of my leaky roof. What we do for them, that's how we change people, through kindness and friendship and trust and all that stuff. I thought that was amazing. I almost cried, and I was like in front of my mom and my sister when I was watching the episode for the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. And my mom and my sister were like, what are you doing? They were like, what are you watching that makes you cry so much, that it's making you so emotional? Girl meets world. So we see that Farkle is extremely embarrassed by his room. Like, extremely, to the point he's humiliated. He did not know this before. He was not aware that everything in his room was keeping him apart from everybody, and that there are people less than him, and that he has never actually thought about them before. So he leaves the classroom and he goes back to his place. Minkus comes and he has a moment with Farkle, and it's really sweet. They talk about how it's important for them to be together and not to be busy doing other stuff that's important as family. Oh my gosh. That was really great, because family is important. Again, what's the point of having all this stuff if it only keeps your close ones apart from you? We see everybody go to Topanga's. Topanga, Corey, and Topanga and Mark Cuban are there. They are going to judge the 4 core, the gang, on who can come up with a good idea on how to end poverty in a way, how to help people out. I love that scene with Riley and Mark Cuban, and they're like battering about like the Knicks. Farkle comes up with the idea to give the money to Maya, because he knows she needs it, that she will do good with it. She gets the money, she gets her roof fixed. We think that they're back in Maya's room, but in reality they're in Farkle's place, and it's a built-in room of Maya's to keep them together. It's exactly the same room, which is kind of weird. They're in her room, but they're also in the same way in his room. And Farkle looks out the window and he sees the lady that he said hi to in Maya's place. Maya was so shocked. She's like, wow, you have my people here. He has a camera that will let him see people from Maya's place through his window. He can feel connected with them. He doesn't have to like ignore them in a way. And he gave her a new coat. I thought that was amazing. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And that's how the episode ends. He gives her a new coat. Oh, I thought it was a great episode about kindness. Essentially, it touched upon an issue that is very important, and I haven't heard of a bad review thus far about this episode. I thought it was great that people are not complaining about this episode. I want to mention something too about it feels like a month ago, but Sludge. Yes, Sludge, STEM. I want to mention something about STEM. I know a lot of people complained about STEM being a bad episode. It was representing feminism in a bad way, but I want to say something. Whenever they bring a new topic, a new issue, a new universal concept into the show, they are testing the waters in a way. Like, whenever you do something for the first time, it's not going to be perfect, and that's the truth. It's not always going to be the way that we want it to be. It's their idea, it's their way of how they want to show it to us. It doesn't mean that the episode was perfect. It was exactly the way that everybody wanted it to be. It was not the way that everybody wanted it to be. Everybody had different views on it. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. But what I think is that whenever they bring a new concept into the show, a new issue that is very controversial, especially now, testing the waters, they want to see if we like it. They want to see our reaction. If they think that we enjoy seeing this topic introduced, displayed in front of us, they will continue with it, just like they did with bullying. In season 1, we saw Farkle being bullied, but in season 2, we saw Riley crying over being bullied. I'm not gonna say that what happened to Farkle was in a way less than what happened to Riley, but I'm saying that Riley's situation, she obviously couldn't tell anybody, and she let it affect her relationship with Maya. The Girlmate's Flaws was pretty good. Whenever they bring up a new topic, just wait, because not everything will be perfect, and if they bring it up again, then just know that there's always room for improvement. So if they ever bring up the topic again about feminism, just know that will be better, I think. Will be more serious. What is the thing that you guys most value? For me, it's my phone. It's the thing that you most value keep you away from other people? Or do you think it brings you together? Does me always being on my phone bring me to my family? No. And so that's why I have to settle my phone down for a few seconds whenever I am talking to my mom or whenever I'm talking to my dad, and especially my sister, because she's always on her phone and I always get annoyed by that. But anyway, let's move on. Don't let the stuff that you think is so important when it really isn't keep you away from family and friends, because as cheesy as this sounds, you won't have them later on. I will experience that one day when I won't have my parents or when I won't have my sister anymore. If I leave and I go to university, I don't know. I'm still in that stage where I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not leaving home. But what about you guys? You guys think that that whatever you value will keep you and your family apart? So yeah, that's the end of my review. I think it was more of a rant than a review or a lecture. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave any comments telling me what you guys thought of this episode, what you guys thought of the review. Oh, I also want to say, like, before I leave, I know I have about almost 80 subscribers now. If I reach 100 subscribers, I promise to make a Google Hangout once a month where I basically talk to you guys live instead of with editing and stuff like that, because I do a lot of stuff when I'm doing videos. I make a lot of mistakes. So I've done Google Hangouts before, but I want to do one once a month if I do get 100 subscribers. I'll start that once I get that, once I reach my goal. What I'll basically do is talk to you guys about Girl Meets World or about anything that you guys want me to talk about, my stories. You guys can ask me any question and I will answer it as honest as possible with you guys. So be sure to like and subscribe to my channel so we get to 100 subscribers and I'll be able to embarrass myself once a month for like an hour to you guys. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this review, and remember, subscribe, comment below any of the things that I talked about, including the one about my religion teacher and should students get paid to go to school. Do that as well. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always watching. Mwah. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
I've been waiting for a day like this to come struck like lightning.